Hi, I'm Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyles. I never thought that we would be in the first week of May still talking about COVID-19, but it is real and we still encourage everybody to play it safe and be safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's what they say, a new normal.
Correct.
And this is where we are, but life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful.
That is correct. And speaking of perfect and wonderful, this is Derby Week, so I'm sure people are still celebrating. We're just finding out ways to get it done virtually, and I know that you can go on social media and find out different ways where you can still participate if you just have to get Derby in.
Yes.
We're going to be featuring today on our show something we did with MSD. We talked to one of the artists that appeared at the Derby City Jazz Festival, jazz pianist Kayla Waters. We also are going to have interviews from Magic and B96. We talked with
Reverend Cosby.
Reverend Cosby, so
Yes.
it's going to give us some spiritual uplifting. DeJuan Means and his wife Jordan about staying fit and healthy, and also Ivy Brito. Got a
Yes.
big show. Stay with us. We'll be back.
We are mothers,
fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
and even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during the storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We're more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving you.
Well, as you know, MSD is one of our partners, and they've been with us for several years. And because of MSD, they keep us safe and they keep us well informed on things that are happening here, because without MSD, we don't even want to think about it.
Right, and they are essential.
They are essential. So we had an opportunity to interview one of their people that have been doing some great work and about a project that they finished up. So a person that we are going to catch up with today, his name is Jacob Mathis, and he worked on the pump station project. So Jacob, tell us how you're doing and how you've been getting through with the COVID-19.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic that we're currently experiencing, the contractor has taken additional safety measures to ensure the health and wellness of their employees. Those measures account for social distancing during safety meetings that take place outside before each shift, as well as the implementation of employees wearing masks when being lowered into the tunnel through the man basket or taking the trip to the face of where Bumblebee is located on the man trip. Masks are worn, and once they get below ground and into their workstations, they're able to remove those masks to do their jobs as they are socially distanced between locations. In early March, when the pandemic started to hit our region, the contractor took progressive steps to help ensure supply chain was being met by ordering extra equipment and parts that were foreseen to be used in the future. That way we can get them on site before factories started shutting down. We have managed to maintain an adequate supply chain during construction. That way we're able to maintain our 8-hour shifts 5 days a week.
Jacob, we've talked about the Bumblebee equipment before, but share with us more about it, how it works, and why it's so important.
As of Sunday, April 12th, Bumblebee has excavated 13,110 linear feet of the tunnel length. The original tunnel length was 13,400 linear feet, so we're about 98% complete with the original length of 2.5 miles, which puts Bumblebee at Main Street on Home of the Innocents property. Home of the Innocents owns 2 pieces of property on both sides of Beargrass Creek in Butchertown. We are currently under the west side piece of property, crossing below Beargrass Creek to the east side of the property where Drop Shaft 4 is. Bumblebee has to excavate approximately 20,205 linear feet to reach the 4-mile length, and we're about 66% complete with that. Bumblebee averages about 200 feet in depth across the alignment. So we're in the area of Home of the Innocents, as previously mentioned, and no one at Home of the Innocents has ever mentioned hearing or seeing any part of the construction related to the project.
Jacob, as usual, thank you so much for sharing with us about the importance of this project. And please do, during this time, continue to stay safe.
And we'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Louisville was good. B96.5. Your man Nick Cannon is in the building, and we taking over. We gonna be wilding every morning. About to have some fun, y'all. Let's go up.
Locking in to the Nick Cannon Morning Show, 6 to 10 on B96.5.
One thing that we have been bringing to you all since the COVID-19 pandemic is we've been catching up with some of our artists that have appeared at the Derby City Jazz Festival. So today we're talking with Kayla Waters. So Kayla, tell us how you are doing and what you're doing to stay busy during this pandemic.
All is well. I am blessed. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. And I am actually coping well with the pandemic. It's been a huge change. Everything is just kind of put on pause, but I'm just going with the flow. I'm going with the move of God, and He has me working on new music, and so I'm staying positive, and I'm excited what's on the other side of this.
Hey Kayla, good to see you. Please share with us, how does it feel to be among the rising female jazz artists?
It's a tremendous blessing to be a rising star in the contemporary jazz world, and I don't do it for fame. I'm really here just to share my God-given sound and to share messages of hope and positivity and to share God's love through the creative vehicle of music. And so just so many doors have opened for me, and I've just been able to play on so many great stages and play alongside my dad, and God has just blessed me tremendously, and I know that this is just the beginning. So there's so much more to go, and I'm looking forward to what's in store.
Kayla, you do have a great connection in the smooth jazz industry, I'll say, with your dad being Kim Waters. But do you see a rise in the listeners among the millennials, such as in your age group?
Absolutely. I definitely see contemporary jazz crossing over into other genres and bridging different age groups together. And I actually did a live segment with Najee and Darren Run and my dad and Riley Richard, and this genre is all about collaboration. It's all about bridging the gaps between races, between ages, and I'm looking forward to continuing to innovate my sound and to continue to learn from the greats and integrate them in my music as well. I had Nick Coleon on my Billboard #1 single Full Bloom, and so it's all about love, it's all about community, and I definitely think whether you're young or whether you're in your better years, everyone can benefit from each other, and it's a blessing to just collaborate.
So Kayla, we listen to your music a lot, but how do you describe yourself? Do you see yourself as a true smooth jazz artist, or do you refuse to be put into categories?
My sound is it's a melting pot of different genres and different life experiences. I grew up classically trained. I got my degree in piano performance. I grew up playing in church, and I learned how to play by ear from playing in church, and that was my gospel influence. And of course, growing up in a jazz household, I always heard my dad playing, and I heard him producing, and he had a huge impact on me producing as well. And my sound is just so many different things, and it's kind of hard to put it in one box, if you will, but if I had to just name a couple different genres, definitely, of course, jazz, contemporary jazz. There's inspirational elements. There's elements of gospel because, of me growing up in church. There's some soft rock elements in there as well. There's some, very eccentric and quirky rhythms and things that I'm drawn to, and I really incorporate that into my music. And so my sound is ever evolving, as I mature and as I grow. Each album, my sound changes, and it's a beautiful process. So definitely looking forward to how it's going to continue to evolve. And you know what? I wouldn't say it's difficult to stay on top of my game. I'm always writing. I'm always trying to perfect my craft, and I think creating a meaningful sound means that you have to be in tune with what's going on in the world. You have to be in tune with what people need and what people are looking for and what's current in music. And so when I go to the piano to write, it's a mixture of me checking out, hey, what's going on in the news? How can I write music to inspire us during these present times? And what do people need? And so I take all of those things into consideration. I really think that helps you stay on top and stay relevant, in addition to your practicing and perfecting your craft.
So Kayla, is there anything we need to know, or any new projects from you coming in the near future?
Yes, exciting things coming up. In the midst of this pandemic, I am working on my new album. I can't reveal the title yet. I do have the name of the title, and I'm about halfway finished with my writing and recording, and should be finishing it up within the next 2 months. But it's going to be a very special album. I talked about my sound evolving and my sound maturing, and it definitely has. this go around for my third album. So I'm really getting my feet wet. I'm getting planted in who I am as an artist and what my sound is. So be on the lookout for that. New music coming soon. And outside of that, I'm doing a lot of producing now. A lot of people don't know this, but I write and produce all of my material, you know, from the piano components to the programming of the drums. I do the key bass lines, I program the strings and all those auxiliary sounds. And so that's something else that people can be on the lookout as well. I'm writing for myself and producing for myself, as well as writing and producing for other artists.
Well, Kayla, as always, it's great catching up with you. We look forward to having you back at the Derby City Jazz Festival again, but until then, stay safe. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
B96.5, your number one for hip hop in Louisville.
Still going bad on you anyway.
Strip got you in heat.
Money, get a little cash.
B96.5 and hiphopb965.com.
Hey, Max and Denise, thanks for having me. Okay, so listen, it's your favorite girl, Bella Ray, in the afternoon on B86.5. Yes, we are still quarantining, but I had to sneak into the studio to do a lot of promos and a lot of other stuff. But coming up for the next couple weeks, we have nothing but money. Nick Cannon's Cash Contest is still going on with the Nick Cannon Cash Blast, all powered by Campbellsville University, Louisville. You already know, 18 times a day. We're going to try to get you $1,000 a day. That equals up to $5,000 a week. And we could all use a little extra $1,000 right now, okay? And of course, you're trying to figure out what to get your mother, you know, the lady of your life. We got a $1,000 Mother's Day giveaway going on right now. Head to hiphopb965.com if you need more details. As you can see, we are still recovering from our virtual prom, our very first virtual prom. But like I said, Team B86.5, we have all the money that you need right now. hiphopb965.com. And of course, you already know, continue to quarantine, continue to wash your hands, and of course, don't forget to social distance. We all want to go outside because I'm ready to go back outside. You know what I'm saying? But of course, thank you, Max and Denise, for having me. It's back to you.
You know, during times like these, we always need some spiritual guidance. We reached out to Reverend Kevin Cosby and to find out how he's coping. So, Reverend Cosby, how are you doing during this pandemic?
First of all, I'm honored to be on this wonderful program that gives so much pertinent information and news we can use. How are we conducting church differently in light of COVID? I think that we have returned back to what is called primitive or simplistic, rudimentary church. While many of the things that the church does is important, there are some things that are fundamental and basic. For example, the teaching of the Bible. That is what we're emphasizing, helping people to take the old scriptures of the first century and build a bridge to the 21st century and make the Word of God relevant to the times in which we're living in. A second thing we're doing is we're going back to small groups. Healthy churches are big and small at the same time. They're big in worship, but they're small in intimacy through small groups. So we have stressed the importance of Sunday school, and people are calling in and they're engaging in their Sunday school class. We're sending them the Sunday school lessons, and there's dialogues going on the phone by way of telephone. We have several live streams that provides people with great Bible studies. Geneva Nelson, who's one of the premier Bible expositors in the United States of America, along with Dr. Ken Jobs, who are doing live stream Bible studies. The youth, Pastor Corey Bailey, who does an outstanding job, with also Ryan, so proud of her. So we are continuing to study, but we're using this medium, this new medium of live stream and the internet and technology. You know, churches that adjust, like people who adjust, are churches and people that survive. The reason why the dodo bird is not here today is because in the 16th century, sailors from Europe went to the island of the dodo birds, and they did not adjust and did not realize that those sailors were predators and they never adjusted. So you can get a Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich, but you cannot get a dodo bird sandwich, a Kentucky Fried dodo bird sandwich, because they didn't adjust. And we have to adjust to the vicissitudes and changes of life.
So Reverend Cosby, in terms of spiritual teaching, what can we learn from what we're going through today?
I think one of the fundamental things that has been highlighted is the disparities, the inequity, the racial inequity that we have attempted to cover up and camouflage through media. We have been given the false impression that because you have some black outliers like Kobe or Beyonce, that their success translates into success for the masses. The fact of the matter is that the black community is still being victimized from centuries of economic deprivation and social isolation. And the disparities in deaths between blacks and whites with COVID-19, I think, highlights something that we would like to cover up. And it explodes, I think, the myth of post-racial America. We are not post-racial. We are post-black America, which means we don't want to deal with black issues. But I think COVID-19 has highlighted that when white America has a cold, black America contracts pneumonia.
Reverend Cosby, it's good to see you. My question to you is, how do you feel about the places that are still holding worship services and they're going against the governor's orders?
Well, I think that there are some churches that are holding worship because they don't have resources, and they are poor in poor neighborhoods, and many pastors who've given so much of, and members who've given so much of their life and investments into these churches are afraid that if they don't continue to come, that their churches may close. And it's easy for more affluent churches to look at poor churches and say, well, what are you doing open, when you don't have to worry about the economic challenges. I mean, if you really want those churches to close, then the churches that have the resources then share with the churches that don't have the resources. I think it's hypocritical on our part to say to them, especially poor churches in urban areas, in distressed neighborhoods, in opportunity deserts, to shut down, and then we're hoarding resources. Having said that, you know, we are learning now that there are two ways of doing worship and experiencing the power of God in worship. And that is on campus when we gather, and then online when we're streaming. And both of them are proving to be very effective means of the people of God gathering together for worship.
Also, what is the main thing you would like the viewers and your congregants to know during this time?
I want to thank Max and Denise, who have been faithful members of this church and good friends with both Barnetta and I, for inviting me to your platform. And as I leave you today, I want you to know this, and that is that the throne of heaven is not vacant. It still has an occupant. God is still in control. And that while corona literally means crown, that's what corona literally means, crown. And when you think of crown, you think of someone who has power and authority. A crown represents power and authority. Corona does not truly wear the eternal crown. The Lord Jesus Christ wears the crown, and even corona is under his feet. Let's stay safe. Let's stay sane. And when all possible, stay home.
We'll take a quick break and back with more of Urban Lifestyles right after this.
Hey, Max and Denise. staying healthy and active is so important even when you can't get to your gym. So we've got a workout today to share that you can do at home with no equipment at all.
Like Jordan said, all you need is your body weight. These workouts are very cool. What you want to do is try to complete as many rounds as possible within the 20 minutes. And then once you're done, record your time. You can always do it again and compete against yourself to get more rounds done. So first we're going to start with burpees, okay? We're going to do 10 burpees. There you go. Yep. And this is the regular way, okay? Jordan's also going to show you the modified way on how to do it, okay?
Step on this one.
And step back up, and then go. Instead of doing that first jump, okay? Step, and then coming up on your toes. You don't have to fully jump, okay?
All right, the next movement is a push-up. Again, we'll show the regular version and the modified. So regular, you're going, your knees are elevated, chest to the ground, and back up. And then to modify, you want to put your knees on the ground, but tuck your hips in, and then go chest to the ground on that as well. So you can do either way and still get a full benefit of that exercise.
Alright, so the next one we have are jump squats. You want to get real deep and explode up. Make sure you point your toes at the top, very important. Jordan's getting her butt back, staying on her heels, not allowing her knees to go in front of her toes, okay?
We can also modify this one too, right?
Yes, let's show the modifier.
Up on your toes and down.
So you don't have to jump, so it's low impact, okay?
Alright, the next movement is a chair dip. So grab a chair or bench or anything, a couch, whatever's available in your house, and you're doing dips. You want to get to a 90-degree angle with those elbows and keep your butt close to whatever you're using for your dip.
Alright, so the last one here is a cross-body climber, kind of like a mountain climber, but you're going to cross your body. So you want to tuck your knees underneath you, okay? Really showing good core strength right here, staying strong, working all the way through, alright?
So that's a quick workout you can do. It's 20 minutes. You're doing 10 burpees, 10 push-ups, 15 jump squats, 15 chair dips, and 10 on each side of the crossbody climbers. And you want to do as many rounds of that as you can in 20 minutes. Compete with yourself, right?
That's it. You versus you, no competition. Record your time. The next time you do it, try to beat your own time.
All right, thank you.
Louisville was good. B96.5. Your man Nick Cannon is in the building and we taking over. We gonna be wilding every morning. About to have some fun, y'all. Let's go up.
Locking in to the Nick Cannon Morning Show, 6 to 10 on B96.5.
Hey, Max and Denise, you know who it is. It's your boy Easy Bluegrass, living my quarantine life in their backyard, getting my grill on. As you can see, we got your hookup, though. We talking about on your station for throwbacks and R&B. Magic 101.3, we got Steve's Cash, Steve Harvey stimulus package. That's what I call it. So he gives you the chance to win $1,000 18 times a day. That's right, 18 shots at it. All you gotta do, you already listen to the station. It's just listen at the top of the hour. At the top of the hour, he gives you a keyword. When you catch the keyword, enter it for your chance to win at 1013online.com. Real simple. Put your bid in, get that free money. You got until May the 8th. That is your cutoff day. So make sure you put your bid in to get paid from Steve, okay? We also trying to show love to our local hometown heroes. These are the people who's working on the front lines during this pandemic. We talking about your nurses, your doctors, your grocery store workers. We want to show them love, and we need your help to do that. So what you got to do is hit our website, 1013online.com, enter a picture of your hometown hero and tell us what they do for the community, and we select one every single week. And guess what? We pull up on them and we try to feed them lunch. We're talking about their whole work. It's real special to help us show love to our local hometown heroes, okay? We also got Team Kentuckiana. And what that is, it's our way of staying connected with you at the station. It's a list of restaurants that offer curbside, drive-through accommodations, and also delivery. You see the list on the website. All you gotta do is hit the website, 1013online.com once again, and you'll see the list of restaurants, and there's also a list of places that are hiring, just in case you're out of work or you're looking for a new opportunity. Now, this whole thing is interactive. If you know of a business that's not on the list and you want to add it to it, you can do that. So make sure you hook up with Team Kentuckiana. It's our way of staying connected with you and servicing the whole community, okay? That's it for your boy Easy Bluegrass. Remember, follow me, Easy Bluegrass, on everything. Easy Bluegrass. We talking about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. I'm going to stay connected with you and make sure you don't miss out on nothing, okay? Back to you, Max and Denise.
You know, we've been talking about a lot of different things in terms of physical health and wellness, and we also need to make sure that we still are keeping our finances and our house in order.
Oh, yes.
So let's check with Ivy Brito at State Farm Insurance.
Hi, I'm Ivy Brito with State Farm Insurance. Many of you know how passionate I am about life insurance. I've done countless workshops, I've had countless client appointments, and I've done several segments on urban lifestyles on this subject. What exactly is life insurance? Simply put, it's a contract between you and an insurance company. You pay the insurance company a certain amount of money. When you die, they pay your family or your beneficiary a large lump sum of money. Now, there are many types of life insurance to fit almost every budget. And while we won't get into those particular types of life insurance, it's important for me to emphasize today the critical need that you purchase your own insurance. Why do I say that? Because the most common objection that I get about purchasing life insurance is, I have it at work. I don't need to purchase any on my own because my employer takes care of that. Well, as you know, with COVID-19, there are a record number of people who are currently unemployed. Because they're unemployed, they no longer have that life insurance at work. Because they no longer have it at work, for many of those people, they don't have anything in place. And it's not important that you have it just for the death benefit so that your family can bury you, but it's also necessary so that they don't struggle financially when you're gone if your income is no longer there to support them. And also, a lot of business owners use it for various reasons. I cannot stress to you enough the importance of getting with your financial provider. Please don't wait, don't hesitate, pick up the phone, call your insurance provider, or call me. My number is on the screen below. Max, Denise, back to you.
You know, I think we had a great show today, a lot of
Yes.
information. Hopefully you learned something from it as well. I know we did. We've been watching a lot of movies on Netflix.
One of my favorites is called Extraction. A lot of good action, but realistic action, and it's kind of suspense, and you want to know what's going to happen, so it is worth a watch.
That's right. In between extractions, board games, bike riding, we're getting it in and we're playing it safe.
And plus, I want to do more reading, and I like
Yes.
Terry McMillan has a new book out.
You're correct. Well, you know what? That's our show.
Ooh, that's our
And
time.
we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyle.
Bye.
Bye-bye.